If you like this video, why not subscribe?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the weekly recap Q&A. Good morning if you're in the United States, and good afternoon or evening if you're elsewhere in the world listening to this. It's the weekly recap Q&A. That's the show where I sit in my car because the acoustics are good and I can take it anywhere and do this show quickly and easily and anywhere in the world wherever my car is. My car is acoustically sound and I'm using on-camera mics, so that helps. But I sit here and talk about comments and questions from last week, as well as share with you all the great links that accumulated on Facebook and Twitter down below in the description. So check that out if that's all you want. If you want to hang around and listen, you can. You can just tab away. This is kind of like a podcast where I'm just going to yammer on for a while and answer questions and talk about things that are upcoming. So with that being said, what happened last week? Well, last week the question was about battery-powered lighting, and I got lots of comments from people, which are found below in the comment section of that last video, about what they use, some LED lighting, some car battery lighting, stuff like that. Although interestingly, because I made a mention of advertising, I answered a question about advertising that I do on YouTube. A lot of people chimed in about how they didn't mind at all that I was using advertising via Google AdSense, and that I should do more of it if I needed to keep the show going. So I appreciate that. I'm still of the belief that, when I watch a video, I like to see the, skip in 4 seconds thing. And so I'm probably going to leave that on newer videos, and then again, just keep doing the older ones. Maybe that have a lot of views, I'll turn on the full ad at the beginning. But I appreciate everyone's support and their willingness or support for wanting me to run as much advertising as I can to keep doing the show. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Last week, the video that I made for the channel was the $1 budget. And despite the fact, I thought it was kind of a weak episode myself. I didn't have as much cool stuff accumulated as I kind of wanted, but I still got a lot of great comments, and people seem to like the episode, and people seem to like that show, so I appreciate that. Also, let's go ahead and jump right on into our questions. Only got 3 of them this time. The first one comes from Florian Fahrenberger. Made a comment on the $1 budget cord mirror dip episode. That was the last one from last week. He says, "You must live in a house with a very big garage. How much $1 stuff have you assembled by now? I could never fit this into my tiny German flat, but I guess you Americans do have more space over there." Well, it's true. I am accumulating a lot of $1 stuff. I use most of it, I would have to say. So it just gets put in with my regular gear, whether it's my lighting kit or my audio kit, and stays there. Of course, the extra stuff I just use for storage. Those plastic crates with the folding lids that fold into each other and remain on the box. For most of my things, I have a ton of those that I use for storing all kinds of stuff. However, that's what I use, but as the question indicates, if you look above there, we're talking about storage for your video gear. That's the question for this week. What is it that you guys use to store your stuff in? And I'm willing to hear I want to hear all kinds of things, even from the smallest thing, like a Ziploc bag, all the way to something big, like maybe under bed storage or door storage, behind the door storage, the thing that hangs on the door. Any of that stuff. I'm curious what people are doing, inexpensive or no, to how they store their stuff and keep it safe and protected from damage. Because if I don't store something, I just leave it out. Something always happens to it. So I got a scratch on my cheap monitor because of that. Kind of bugs me. Anyway, the next comment, we got a comment on the Frugal Floater episode. That was the DIY Steadicam episode, coming from MindPower009. Commented saying your SEMA Quick Connect is, quote, no longer available on Amazon. Had to buy it from Adorama. Sorry, bro. Well, that's perfectly fine. Where you can get those parts, is great. But you're right. Amazon is currently out of the SEMA Quick Connect, as well as the Manfrotto clone. That's the, in my opinion, superior version. Although I do have to comment on, because on the video that I made, the quick release Showdown, quick release Showdown, which I'll leave a link to, maybe here somewhere, and down below. And on that video I said how the Manfrotto clone was a superior quick release, and it is in a lot of ways because it's metal. And the build is better. The SEMA is all plastic, and the Manfrotto is more future-proof because it's a little bigger, so if you get a bigger camera, it'll hold it better, shouldn't wear out as fast. But that's one of the disadvantages I've noticed. In the video, I totally recommended the metal Manfrotto clone and sort of said it's time to move on from the CIMA. A lot of people have said it's time to move on from the CIMA because I've been using it for a long time. And I've got a lot of them, so I keep using them. But one thing I will admit after that video is that the CIMA is good for small stuff, and it's a lot better for modular. If you're going to link any of your gear together like I do with my camera and my XLR box, that's better for that than the Manfrotto, which is not really, it's not really flat on top or on all sides or on the bottom, so that would be more difficult. But so the CIMA still has some value. However, and in fact the Manfrotto I thought was a better value also because when I made that video, those were selling for about $8.50. The price went up, I think shortly after I made that video, maybe because everybody out there in internet land started buying them, so they jacked up the price $2. But now they're both out of stock, so at least on Amazon, so you can't find them either way, although Mind Power 009 got his from Adorama, so they might have some as well. But it seems like they're overpriced a lot. The CIMAs were great, you know, when they were on Amazon for about $8. $8 to $10 is really all they should ever be. But then, you know, their retail is $14.99, which is too much. And now the other ones, the Manfrotto clones, are also $10. But they're unavailable as well, so we just have to wait until they restock, because they will. I think the demand is definitely still there. Okay, finally we have a comment from Strato172, commented on multi-purpose mic for $27. He says, I noticed this video has considerable hiss, like that of an old cassette tape playing, and I was wondering if that's from the mic itself. Well, Strato, no, that's not from the mic. When I made that video, I was running my my cheap Radio Shack lav mic directly into my camera. So the hiss you're hearing is from the cheap preamps in the camera, which are not very good. So since then, I've switched to recording all of my stuff when I do my regular shows, not this show because I'm using on-camera mics for this. But when I do all my other shows, I'm using that same Radio Shack microphone into my Zoom H1 handy recorder, which has superior audio electronics. So the hiss is a lot lower. I don't know if it's non-existent. I don't think it's non-existent, but it's definitely a lot better because the Zoom H1 was made specifically for audio recording. And so as a result, the byproduct of that, of course, it's going to sound better than the corner-cutting cheapo stuff they slap into cameras. It'll almost always sound better. Well, it should always sound better in a recorder than it does in my camera. The only exception I've noticed to this is when somehow the signal boost from the outside going into the camera basically cancels out the preamp or doesn't force the preamp to do anything. I know that Juiced Link, their boxes, which have pretty good preamps, apparently will boost the signal, so by the time it gets to your camera's not doing any work hardly, and it sounds better. I've noticed that in using my Sennheiser ME66 shotgun mic, which is a real hot microphone, meaning the sound is just naturally, it's just louder. It's a louder microphone, so you have to crank down the audio levels in your camera so that it's not doing as much work. But that's where that hiss came from. It wasn't from the microphone itself. I still use that mic. In fact, I got another one on eBay as a backup, and also for some projects that I want to do in the future when I need two microphones, because they're cheap on eBay. They're like $10 to $15, and it's still a decent microphone. I mean, it is an unbalanced, cheap microphone. They're all about the same price, around $20. Although if you go into Radio Shack, it's $32. That's too much. So there's some other ones you can get out there. I've always linked to the Audio-Technica model, and a lot of people like the Azden lav mic. I can put those links below if you're interested in cheap lav mics. But I've been pretty happy with my Radio Shack microphone. So I guess I'll keep using it. But that's where the hiss came from. Okay, so that's all of our questions this week. Again, the question we have above is, what do you use to store your video gear? Please share any and all methods. I'd like to hear that. I'm always looking for new ways to save space and keep things protected, so let me know. This week we've got a full Frugal Filmmaker episode, and originally it was going to be a cable cam, or how to, a rig that'll let you do, string cable between two things like trees, whatever, and run a device between them so you can do dolly shots essentially without a dolly. If you have to go over harsh terrain or non-existent terrain, like a swimming pool, let's say, you want to get a dolly shot. But due to school and the intense demands, I'm actually involved in 3 movie projects right now. So it's just crazy demand on my time. So I won't be doing that episode this month. It will be something simpler, and you'll see what it is if you tune in on Thursday. So I apologize for that for those people that were waiting, chomping at the bit for that episode. That'll be next month or the month after probably. So I'm sorry about that, but there will be something hopefully useful this week. Anyway, if you want to see all of the Frugal Filmmaker content, you can go to thefrugalfilmmaker.com. That's the hub of all this material. And we're also on Twitter at Frugal Filmmaker. There's the Facebook group, which is getting really, really big. So if you want to do lots of cool stuff or ask questions or post videos or find deals, that's a really good place to do that. A lot of activity there. And then of course there's here on the YouTube channel. So that's it. If you're making movies this week, good luck with that. And 7 days the show will be back, 3 or 4 days with the Frugal Filmmaker. So until that happens, later.